Hello and welcome to episode 48 of the Made by Moomino podcast. My name is Catherine and this is my little corner of the internet to talk about knitting, occasionally weaving, spinning and general crafty stuff. But today I think is mostly about knitting. So yes, a very warm welcome to you if you're new here and a huge welcome back if you've been here before. There's quite a big back catalogue of episodes now that we're on episode 48. So if you're just finding me, feel free to go and have a look at the previous episodes, although the earlier ones maybe aren't quite so professionally done as the more recent ones, but never mind. Anyway, I am filming as usual today here in Mönchengladbach in Germany, where I live permanently with my partner, although I am originally from Wales in the UK. And so let's get started with what I am wearing today. So if you've been here before, you'll know that I put chapters in so you can skip over any bits that you don't want to watch. I also link everything down below in the show notes that I talk about, all the yarns, patterns, that kind of thing. Also, you can find me on Instagram as Moomino, on Ravelry as Made by Moomino, and where else can you find me? Oh yeah, on Ko-fi Coffee, is that right? As well as also Made by Moomino, but all those are linked down below too. Also, I must send a massive thank you to Michelle, who gifted me a pattern last week, these gorgeous slippers. I'll definitely be casting those on soon, they're really, really cute. Thank you so much. I noticed on your Ravelry page, Michelle, that we share a birthday, so happy birthday for a couple of weeks ago. So yes, what am I wearing today? If you have been here for a while, you've definitely seen this before. This is an Old Faithful petite knit Stockholm slipover that I made in Tasmanian tweed. I made the size L. I believe it goes up to 5XL, which is quite size inclusive because it's over 60 inches for the largest size. Although with the fit, I would recommend, if you're knitting one of the larger sizes, to take this measurement rather than the bust measurement, because I find that the armholes can be a little bit on the gapey side if you knit a larger size. I knit, it was a very early pattern that I knitted several years ago, and I held together some beautiful Ito mohair with some Noro. It was a really special cast on because it was quite pricey. I bought it for my birthday and everything, but it's just far too big for me. I knit the size based on my bust circumference, and I was really early to sort of fitting garments at that point. So I really should rip it back one of these days and re-knit it. Although I could try and cut it up the sides and hem it. I don't know, but it'll be an absolute nightmare to unravel because it's mohair held with another yarn. But never mind, I'll get it out one of these days and have a look at it. But this one's an Old Faithful. I wear this a lot, especially when I wear this dress. It's just an extra little layer of warmth over a sort of quite a thin dress, which is perfect for around the house or whatever. So yes, that is what I'm wearing today. I used Tasmanian tweed from Atelier Citron, which is a really plump, I think it's a sport weight yarn, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think it's a sport weight, but it's a really nice plump superwash yarn, and it's very, very soft. And I love wearing this slip over. So that's what I'm wearing today. I've got a couple of finished objects to show you today that you will have seen several times. Firstly, my Moomin socks, they're finished. I really need to get some sock blockers with some longer legs. I tend to knit the leg of my sock quite long, sort of, I don't know, what is that, about 20 centimetres, just over 20 centimetres. My sock blockers aren't long enough. So yes, we have a finally finished object that I started last year. And they're gorgeous. I must say that on one of them, I am finding that the instep is a little bit on the short side. So I might rip one of them back and knit the heel flap a little bit longer. I can't remember which one it is. It often happens, especially when you're doing colour work socks, that they don't have as much stretch in them as they would if they were just plain vanilla or sort of single colour socks. So if you are knitting colourwork socks for the first time, just be aware of that, and you might want to knit your instep a little bit deeper by making the heel flap just a bit deeper and picking up some more stitches. So I'll try them on again. I might go back and re-knit that foot, but we'll see how it goes. I haven't added any eyes or anything onto the Moomins. The pattern does have on the chart how to embroider the little eyes and things on, but to be honest, I think I'm happy with them as they are. I think they're really cute. I might go back and add the eyes. I'll see how I feel. But yeah, these are finally finished, and mostly happy with them, and might revisit the heel flap. I think it's this one that was a little bit shorter and a little bit tighter. But yeah, my Moomin socks, they're done. Yay! I forgot to mention about the Moomin socks that pattern is available in the Knitted Moomin Socks book, which I've linked down below. I believe that you can get the chart for the this section here available for free online. Somebody commented the other week that they were able to find it. So yeah, but these are in the Knitted Moomin Socks book, which is just adorable with loads of really cute patterns. So if you're into Moomins, it's a nice little purchase. Yeah, anyway, the next finished object that I've got to show you are my Cozy Knitter socks. These are from a self-striping yarn advent that I had last year. I made myself an identical pair of socks, but I held them with mohair last year for a lovely thick, warm, squishy pair of socks. Mohair is a really good option for making your normal sock yarn a little bit thicker and fluffier, or you can add it to normal yarn that isn't sock yarn to add a little bit of strength if your sock yarn doesn't have any nylon in it. But do be careful, because they can make the underside of the socks a little bit slippery. But yeah, I just knit these plain vanilla socks. The little cuff, I think it's about 15 rows. Got down to this hot pink colour, put in my heel flap and gusset, and then knit until I ran out of yarn. I think I had about 10 centimetres left on each half skein. I think that next year, rather than getting another big yarn advent, I think I would definitely get some sort of self-striping yarn advent again. It's so low pressure that you can just knit one stripe on each sock a day. It comes into half skeins so that you can knit your socks concurrently. And as you can see, for my UK size 6 foot, I can get 2 pairs of socks out of them for if I use some contrast colour for my heel flap and gusset and sock, what are they called? Toes and cuffs. Also, I do like to put in a contrast colour for the heel when it's a self-striping yarn, just because it makes the stripes go further and you don't get those sort of really thin stripes, and it's more difficult to make them matchy-matchy. But look at that, proper matchy-matchy. This is really nicely dyed yarn. So yeah, this is the first time I've ever had yarn from the Cozy Knitter. She's based over in Canada. So I might have a look for some more close to home self-striping yarns next year and do that again for my yarn advent, just because it's super low stress and I'm not introducing loads of new yarn into my stash as well. So yeah, I tend to use the same sock recipe just for my vanilla socks, where I knit usually 15 to 20 rows for my cuff, about 60 rows, 70 rows sometimes for my leg. Then I do a heel flap long enough to pick up about 20 to 22 stitches, knit my heel turn, and then I knit about 55 to 60 rows for the foot, and then just an ordinary rounded toe. Nothing special, don't have to think about it, no pattern required. And yeah, it's always my go-to for making socks. Okay, that's all of the finished objects I've got to show you today. I've got a couple of WIPs, a little update on my pick and mix cowl. This was a kit from Wee County Yarns, although after doing these show notes for last week's episode, I noticed that you can actually get this pattern as a free download, so I've linked that down below. And that's where I've got to now. I think last time I spoke to you, I think I was about here. I've not done an awful lot of knitting on this, to be honest. I haven't been very well the last few days. I have something called endometriosis, and if you know what it is, my sympathy goes out to you because you've probably got it too. And some months it just hits me really, really hard, and I've not been very well the last few days. So I needed normal, soothing, plain stockinette or garter stitch, I'm afraid. So not a lot has been done on here. But anyway, this is a lovely pattern. It's a really simple, easy to memorise chart. And if you're trying colour work for the first time, as I said in my last episode, cowls are a really, really good first colour work, purely because the circumference isn't too big, too small, and it's quite manageable. So this kit came with 10 colours, and I've used all of them so far. I wasn't picky about which colours I used. I just picked them out at random, making sure that I had a dark and a light for each repeat. And then I'm following that same pattern going up, but just inverting the colours. So like, where can I show you an example? That row there is the same colour combination as that row there, just with the green as the background colour instead of the front. So yeah, it's super cute, and I'm really happy with this. And I'll definitely be knitting on this a little bit more over the next couple of weeks. It would be lovely to wear it during the colder weather now, but yeah, really happy with that. It's very, very cute, and I think I would definitely get some of their yarn again because it seems perfect for this type of colour work. The next thing to show you is a new cast on. I cast on yet another Musselburgh for my partner, and this is what I have so far. A tiny little mini hat. This yarn is so much fun. It's from Undercover Otter. I picked it up at a yarn festival a month or so ago, and it's just super bright, fun colours, sort of these muted neons, and I think this one under a black light looks really cool as well. I think that Aidan put in some cool yarn colours that glow under black light. I'll show you the skeined up ball. That's the yarn. So Undercover Otter does gorgeous yarns, really, really fun colours. Aidan is a bit of a wizard when it comes to colour selection. And this is their Squirm sock base in the colour Zozo. And it's a mixture of 80% superwash merino and 20% nylon. So this, for me, this is perfect for making a Musselburgh. I've done a little video actually of me casting this on, and it's at the end of this episode. Unfortunately, because I haven't been that well, we haven't had an opportunity to go out and do sort of more Christmas markets and that kind of thing. My partner and I, we were hoping to go to Dusseldorf last weekend, but I just really wasn't feeling up to it. So we did some emergency last minute shopping in our local designer outlet village in Vermont instead. That was the footage that you saw at the beginning. Not my favourite place in the world to go, I must admit, but you know, needs must and all that, and we managed to finish our Christmas shopping, which was perfect. So yeah, so this is the start of the Musselburgh. It starts at this point here and then increases outwards. You then do a little gauge swatch using your actual knitting, and then you can work out how many increases that you need to do from that. The designer has a really, really good tutorial included with the pattern for this if you buy the pattern. Personally, I like to start it on Addy trios. I just find it easier with that small circumference to knit on 2 needles rather than on 4. So you can use DPNs, and there are instructions for using different numbers of DPNs in the pattern. You could also use magic loop as well. Honestly, I've never really got on with magic loop. I don't tend to use it. So I prefer to cast on onto trios and then join in the round that way. I did end up with a little hole at the top of this, aside from the actual cast on hole. I did an accidental yarn over when I was joining the two sides of the knitting together. But as you can see, I've managed to close that up. Don't forget to close up the hole before you get to the other end. So leave yourself a nice long tail for that. I've done that before, got to the end of the Musselburgh, finished it off and then realised I haven't sewn up the first hand. But never mind. So yeah, I tend to cast on, as I said, onto Addy trios, but then after I finished my increases, I put them on a short circumference needle. These are just ordinary Chow View twists, the little mini ones. But any short circular needle would do the trick. I find that if I continue with Addy trios, I sometimes get a little bit of a ladder up either side. If you are getting ladders from using DPNs or that kind of thing, it can help to pull the second stitch on the needle a bit tighter as you're knitting. You can also move the stitches between the needles to slowly work around, so you avoid that ladder going up either side. But personally, I find it easier just to use a small circumference. I know that some people don't get on with these. My mum doesn't particularly enjoy knitting on small circumference and definitely goes for magic loop instead, which would also work really well for the body of the hat. But I thought I'd show you some of the other Musselburghs that I've made for my partner over the years. Here they are. He loves these hats. There's a little bit of footage of him at the end of the video wearing one of these. He shaves his head. He has a good beard, but he shaves his head, and he is a rather chilly mortal. So keeping his head covered in the winter and in the summer, to be honest, is fairly important to him. So I'll just show you the finished one. This is, I think this colourway was called Sprayed, and it was from the WIP Yarn Company. My partner loves bright colours, and he's really attracted to sort of pinks and purples. So yeah, that's what the Musselburgh looks like once you finish knitting it. And as you can see, there's plenty of opportunities to show off really special yarn. Oh, the pooling on that is just gorgeous. You can also customise this by putting in stripes, different colours. I suppose you could play with intarsia as well and do some little designs on there. But he just likes this nice, loose, soft hat. You can see on this one, there's a bit of a ladder going up there, and that's just from where I've used trios all the way down. I probably knitted this when we were on holiday or something and didn't have my short circulars with me. So yes, that's one. That's WIP Yarn Company. This is also WIP Yarn Company. That one, you won't lose him in a crowd with that one. This colourway I think was called Guinan, and it was on Squirm Sock as well. This one I think is the first one that I knit. I picked this up in Stephen and Penelope in Amsterdam. I think it's Ching Fibre. But that one's lovely and bright. This one was leftovers from a jumper that I made for him, and this is just Malabrigo, and it's lovely and soft. This one's quite squishy and nice. I have to remember where all these yarns are from. This one was Linares Barefoot, I think, in the colourway Rhinebeck. Yeah, that's right. And we picked that up when we visited a yarn shop in Luxembourg. This one, that is bright as well. He loves this one. This one is from Punk Rock Unicorn. She is a German dyer in the Eifel. Really must get down there one of these days. It's not that far away from here. It's only about, I think it's about 2 hours, 2.5 hours away. We should make a little day trip down there one time. Anyway, I have no idea. Oh no, maybe I do. Firecracker? I have a vague memory that this is called Firecracker. All the notes are on Ravelry. This one, I don't think I knit that. I think my mum might have knitted that one for him, but it's really nice. It's very soft. I imagine that she will have chosen some Peruvian Highland wool for this one, but I'll have to check with her what wool that is, but it's very, very soft. This one is, I need to reknit this one. It's a little bit too small for him. This was an experiment. This is DK yarn from Lay Family Yarn in the colourway Iron Bridge, I think it was. And it's gorgeous. It's really, really soft, but it needs to be a little bit longer because it's a bit thick. A bit thicker than the other ones. It just sits a little bit too high up on his head, and he likes to be able to pull it right down at the back. So yeah, I really need to reknit that one. But the yarn is gorgeous. Really, really nice yarn, that one. And the last one is Valk. I think the colourway is Provence for this one, and I got this in a yarn shop in Cologne. I think it's called Garn Studio, the yarn shop. It's an Aladdin's cave of unusual yarns, and I really need to go back there for another visit. But yeah, this is showing up on the camera as a bit more pink than it is in real life. It's more purple in real life. I know that I've knit other ones for him. It's usually for anniversaries, and we've been together, what, nearly 9 years now. So yeah, it's usually for anniversaries that I knit them. So there must be a couple more lurking about the place as well, maybe in the car or something. But yeah, that's a little parade of Musselburghs for you. Knit in a variety of ways. The earlier ones would have been done on DPNs, and then later when I discovered using trios instead. I find these perfect for car knitting, for keeping in my handbag, because after you've done those increases, it is just stockinette. So I'll show you again. After you've done the increases here, you've got stockinette then all the way to here. So for me, that's perfect car knitting. Yeah, nice and mindless. So that's, yeah, some of the Musselburghs. I'm pretty sure there's a couple missing, but it is what it is. But you can see a little video of me casting on and doing the crown increases at the end of this video. So as I said, this week I have been doing a lot of, well, no, not so much knitting this week if I'm honest, but garter stitch and stockinette stitch has been the way forward. So I've made some progress on my advent blanket. So I've decided to mix the yarns from Het Volbeest with some yarn I already had from Lay Family Yarn to make it kind of scrappy-ish looking. So I've got the first colour here from Het Volbeest, then a little bit from Lay Family Yarn, and then another colour from Het Volbeest here, Lay Family Yarn, and this is the latest colour from Het Volbeest mixed with this pink. I'll show it to you here. So this is the yarn from Het Volbeest, and it's a Moomin themed advent, and I'm holding it with this throughout. I wanted a squishy DK blanket that would be reasonably hard wearing and could live on the sofa, and it's definitely doing what I want to do. So yeah, really happy with it. It's a very, very simple pattern. It's a free pattern from Very Pink Knit. You can download it on Ravelry, the link is below, also from her website. And all you do on every row is knit 2, do a yarn over, and then knit to the end of the row. There's no right side or wrong side. I've put a little stitch marker there to show where I was the last time I showed this to you. So that's how much knitting I've done in a week. But it's been really nice to just sort of, yeah, just chill out and do a little bit of garter stitch. And finally, if you've been here for a couple of weeks or a little while, the reason I'm not doing Vlogmas this year is because we've been having a lot of essential work done on our flat, and it's finally finished. But this was perfect for knitting on while that was going on, because it was very, very noisy. And yeah, touch wood, we have a fully functioning kitchen again. No leaks, no holes in the walls. Yeah, so it's been really strange, because normally I do sort of little bits of baking and, you know, sort of Christmas preparation stuff and lots of cooking. I really enjoy cooking. But yeah, it kind of hasn't happened at all over the last couple of weeks, and it's been, what's the word? Discombobulating. But glad to say that that's all done now. But I am enjoying working on this. Next week we have a 10 to 12 hour drive to, no, not next week, this Thursday. We have a really long drive to my parents who live in Wales, and we tend to spend Christmas with them every year, and we drive there. So this will be my car knitting, I think, and yeah, should be able to do plenty of work on that in 10 to 12 hours, but we shall see. The next thing to show you are my yarn advents, because that's all I've got to show you knitting wise at the moment. The next colour for my Het Volbeest yarn advent is this one. So I opted for the 4 times 100 grams skein yarn advent, and it's Moomin themed, as I said. So this week the little stitch marker is a little mine. And it's this lovely light blue colour with little bits of brown and things through it. It's really nice. So all of these yarns are 75% BFL with 25% nylon. I'm hoping that I'm going to have a little bit left over from each of the skeins to make myself a little pair of stripy socks to show off the yarn colours by themselves as well. But yeah, that's the 3rd skein. I did also have a 5th skein with it as well, which is the first one that I started with. Also with this week was some nice tea. This one is called Be Very Merry, and it's got green tea, apple, cinnamon, orange peels, orange oil, pink peppercorns, cloves and cinnamon bark oil. That sounds lovely, so I'll enjoy that later. Also in here was a little Milka Oreo flavoured chocolate. I'll enjoy that later too. And a really cute little fox book marker. That's really cute. It's a very sweet little fox. So for my Christmas reading. I also have treated myself to a Fibre advent this year as well from Eula in Wool and Twine up in Hamburg. And this was the colour from this week. Yowzers, that is gorgeous. I mean, you'll lose a lot of that different colour definition in it once it's spun up, but that is gorgeous. This, as with the other ones, is 100% Exmoor Blueface, and it's her heirloom blend. So there's 100 grams of floofy goodness. Really gorgeous. Eula has a gorgeous eye for colour. I mean, she uses natural dyes. It tends to be more on the sort of muted neutral side, but there's so much depth in those colours. They're not flat beige. They are beautiful, beautiful colours. So yeah, looking forward to spinning these up sometime next year. And I think that's all that I've got to talk about today. So yeah, as I said, we will be driving to Wales later on this week. And the next episode then, next Monday, will be from my mum's craft room up in the Banau Brychaniog, the Brecon Beacons in Wales. And I am so looking forward to seeing my family. It's going to be wonderful. Yeah, hanging out with my granddad as well, who's 94. It'll be lovely to spend Christmas with them again. And seeing some of my brothers and sisters as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it and looking forward to sort of taking you on my extended family Christmas a little bit. I hope that you're really well and that you're enjoying your December too. I know that this can be a difficult time of year sometimes for people, so I hope that you're looking after yourself and allowing as much time as possible for a little bit of gentle crafting and not letting the preparations overwhelm you too much. And if you don't celebrate, I hope that you're having a wonderful December, and I've got plenty of nice crafty things planned for over the next few weeks. So enjoy this little bit of footage of me casting on a Musselburgh, and yeah, I will see you in a week's time in Wales. Take care, bye bye.